Hey guys, and welcome back. More Newcastle United transfer news. The big topic today being Declan Rice. Shock horror. The second West Ham won the Conference League last night, there was already Declan Rice and Newcastle United links popping up in the media. But is there anything behind this, or is it literally just clickbait by the media? People trying to capitalise on what's been an incredible achievement from West Ham, and the fact that it's been announced there by the West Ham ownership that Declan Rice will be leaving West Ham. That was his final game played. Is the media trying to jump on it, or is there something more to this? And as well as that, we do have actual links to this football club. Players that on paper are realistic, and players that Newcastle will be looking into if we can't sign some of our bigger targets. Plenty to get into. Of course, the last video I made on the channel as well is regarding Newcastle's new kit. That's supposed to come out tomorrow, so I'll tell you everything you need to know about that. Everything you guys need to know about Newcastle over the next couple of weeks. Even though this season is over now, for me, this is the calm before the storm. Things will pick up quite quickly within a week or two, and that's when you guys are going to be looking into everything. But for now, though, it's just a little quiet, a little bit of a break, but it won't stay that way for long. That's what I'm going to say. But anyway, guys, welcome back. I do have a couple of announcements I need to make first, actually, before we get into the video itself. But first off, though, if you're new around here and you like what you're watching, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button you enjoy. Make sure you don't miss any of the transfer news that will be popping out, because there's going to be a lot of it once this really kicks into motion. And finally, regarding Declan Rice and the other players I mentioned in this video, make sure you let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on it. As for a couple of announcements now, so of course, for Newcastle's season being over, some of the content on my channel will be a little bit different from my usual stuff. It'll just be the case where I'm going to be getting involved in different stuff since my time's free now. The first one being the fact that Sam Fender is at St James's Park tomorrow and Saturday. So I'm supposed to be at the gig tomorrow. The fact there's going to be over 50,000 people there. It's a case for me where there's going to be tens of thousands of people standing outside St James's Park. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I probably will be planning on doing a video of some sort outside the ground, of course, speaking to fans about how things have been, because I know there's going to be loads of Geordies there tomorrow. And the Hoppins reopens next Friday. That's the opening day. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while now, I did the Hoppins last year and you guys seem to love that video. So once again, we'll go back there. I'm going to be there on the first day, so just to let you know. But yeah, that's just a couple of my announcements there, just in case you guys want to get involved with the videos or you just want to come up and say hello. But yeah, that's about it. Apologies for the long intro. Without further ado, let's get straight into things. Before we get to Declan Rice himself, I want to talk about West Ham first, because they won the Conference League yesterday. The first time they won a European major honour since 1965. Sounds a bit similar to our team, doesn't it? Us. Last time we won a European major honour was 1969, and watching that yesterday, I think if that was Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce in the past, I would have sat there jealous, envious, just wishing that was us. And to some extent, I watched it last night and I was, hyped for West Ham, but I was still thinking, oh, I wish that was me there. But it's a case now that Newcastle in the Champions League, yes, I'm not expecting us to win the thing, but just the fact we're in European football now, I can't wait to see things like that next season with Newcastle. I can't wait for us to be going abroad, enjoying watching the team. West Ham had 5,000 tickets at the game. They took well over 10,000 people there. There's people in fan zones. Everyone's just getting together, enjoying themselves. And they went out last night and celebrated, lifting a trophy for the first time since 1980. So huge congratulations to them. I just wanted to come out and say now that well done to West Ham. I'm looking forward to seeing us doing it and just having a chance to watch our team do so well yesterday that you probably wouldn't expect to perform well in Europe. It's just a great opportunity for our teams to do that. I like the Conference League. I think it's a great idea for teams that in the past, a team like Newcastle, for example, that we weren't expecting to get European football, it's another option in there. I love it. I love it a lot. I just wanted to say again, I'm a little jealous, but I can't wait to see us in Europe next season. That's proper got me hyped for the Champions League now. As for Declan Rice, it was confirmed this morning by Sullivan, the owner of West Ham, that Declan Rice has in fact played his last game for the football club. He captained that side that beat Fiorentina 2-1 to win the Conference League. A bit brutal to announce it quite literally a few hours after the game, but at least he's straight about it. West Ham fans haven't even stopped celebrating and already know Declan Rice is leaving. Probably should have kept it quiet for a day or so, but listen, at least he's honest. But because of that now, there's loads of teams going in for the player. Before that announcement, it was Arsenal and Bayern Munich, the two teams that wanted him the most, Arsenal being the closest. Nothing's been agreed so far, but Arsenal are the front runners to sign him. It would cost them £90 million to bring in what, in my opinion, is one of the world's best midfielders. I think this guy can play for any football team. I think he's that good. And then I'll be a bit scared, to be honest, if he goes to Arsenal, because I think he's a perfect fit in that system. I think he'll do an unbelievable job there. And as a result, there's been Newcastle links now. So it's came out for the Northern Echo this morning. A couple hours after Sullivan's announcement, all of a sudden Newcastle were also in the race to sign him. Now, to be fair, I can expect this sort of thing to be true somewhat, because even though Declan Rice for me is an unrealistic sign, I can't see why we go to Newcastle, especially when you've got Arsenal and Bayern knocking on the door. They're just two much better teams to go to. I think Newcastle's ownership probably will do this for some players. Even though a sign may seem more realistic, they'll probably still show interest. They'll still try to look and just see what happens. It's a case where Newcastle have got Champions League football, so there's a little bit of a pull factor there. But ultimately, I think Declan Rice, especially for him, he'll probably want to win major honours. And Newcastle, we just can't prove to Declan Rice that we're going to win major honours, because, to be brutally honest, we don't do that. So all we can say to Declan Rice is that we've got Champions League football now, which you can get from all the other teams that are trying to sign him. So we haven't got that pull factor for somebody like Declan Rice, and it's just as simple as that. Even though that it probably is true that Newcastle's shown interest, or they might have lodged a bid in there, ultimately we're just not going to sign him. It's not a realistic sign at all, and I don't see this one happening. And that's without the article being a potential BS. It's just a case that even if Newcastle do put the money in there, even if we dump £90 million to Rice, which one I don't think we would do. Two, I don't think we're signing, because, well, Arsenal are buying today. He's going to join Arsenal. I mean, why would you not join Arsenal if you're Declan Rice? You're already living in London. Arsenal are a team that, with Declan Rice, I fancy to try and win the Premier League. So it's just a much better club for him to move to. Not to mention, I've already said there that he doesn't have to move house. So it's a no-brainer. I think he will go to Arsenal. It's possible that Bayern might get themselves in there, but the point I'm making here is that I do not see Newcastle United getting him at all. As for some lesser signings now, so these are meant to be players who, if Newcastle go on for top targets, they don't sign the players they want. These are the backup options that the club's written down. Players that are going to be available for a lesser fee. Newcastle just want to get some squad depth in. These are the sort of players, according to Luke Edwards, we're going to go in for. So he's mentioned likes of Tyler Adams and Walter Peters, both of them, of course, just being relegated with Southampton. I can't speak too much about Adams because I haven't actually watched him play much, but I can speak a little bit about Walter Peters. I mean, I think he's all right, you know. You got to remember, as I just mentioned there, these are meant to be players we're going in for if we don't sign the top targets. So if we fail to get a huge player we're trying to bring in for a backup option, I think they're all right, you know. I'm concerned just being relegated. These are players that are going to be looking to go elsewhere. Newcastle is going to be a club where it's an absolute no-brainer for these players, and you probably can pick them up for just a few £1 million. And for me, I think for the price you pay for them, they probably are worth it. He was mentioned as well about James Maddison. He's going to be quite an interesting one, because what is the future going to be for him now? Because the likes of James Maddison, the likes of Harvey Barnes, the likes of James Ward-Prowse, players I've already mentioned, players that have to leave the football club if they want to be anywhere near international football. Not mentioned as well if they want to play Premier League football and progress on in their careers. So they're quite interesting ones. Now, Newcastle have always expressed interest, especially in Maddison and Barnes, the two Leicester players. So we put 2 official bids in for James Maddison last summer. Harvey Barnes has always been a player that's been Eddie Howe's watch list. These are 2 players that we've been looking into all season long. And for me, both of them had very good seasons, considering the fact Leicester have been relegated, considering the fact that Leicester have been crap all season long. Both of them have got well over 10 goal contributions each. Both of them have been on point. And for me, again, with the money you're going to be spending for them, they have to be sold at a reduced price, because of the fact that they're not going to play for Leicester. They have to go elsewhere. So again, Newcastle will be looking at these sort of players. I know now people will probably go, well, Newcastle are a Champions League team. Why are we looking at players that have just been relegated? But there still are good individual players you can pick out a relegated squad. Just because they went down doesn't mean they had terrible players. Remember when we went down back in 2016, we had the likes of Wijnaldum, who went on to win a Champions League. Had Sissoko, who I know he's a bit lazy at Newcastle, but he got into a Champions League final with Tottenham. He's still pretty decent in French football. And it's a case that, yes, they got relegated, but they still got some good players there. I think Maddison, Barnes, Ward-Prowse, these players are good enough to play for Newcastle. I think they're good enough to start for. Some of you guys might disagree with that, but I think these are players that Newcastle are definitely going to be interested in. And as for Adams and Walter Peters, Luke Edwards has said, again, probably are players Newcastle will be going in for, but those are the lesser targets, players that Newcastle are going to be interested in if we don't get our top marquee signings. In order for Newcastle to be able to go out there and buy all the players that we want to buy, we have to follow financial fair play. We can't do what Manchester City did in 2008 anymore. We can't just go out there and buy whoever we want and not have any consequences. On the financial fair play, we can only spend what the club generates, and one smart way how Newcastle's been able to maximise our profits in order for us to be able to go out there and spend more money is the match day revenue. So the club has done since the takeover, they've done everything in their power to make sure that things are going to cost some people more money, making sure that we can earn more money from the fan base. And I know it doesn't sound very nice, but ultimately we're a business. We're going to go out there and we're going to earn profits from the people paying for us. And it's just one of them things where, I mean, for me, for example, season ticket prices are going to increase in price gradually over the next few years, which makes sense because, I mean, I'm paying this amount of money to watch Newcastle under Mike Ashew, watching us under the Championship. Newcastle playing better football now, we're playing European football, not to mention as well. Keeping the season ticket means that you guaranteed your seat. So the club will extend the price because they know that nobody's going to give up the season ticket. So it sounds a bit dodgy, but ultimately we are going to do it in the best interest of the club to go out and spend more money. And another way we've done that is actually by having a new hospitality suite next season called the Rooftops. So this will replace the Gallagher Club at St James's Park. You need a set contract, so 2 people have to buy the hospitality together in order for you to do it. And how much is that going to cost you? Well, for the pair of years, it's going to cost you 17 grand a season. 17k to go watch Newcastle just in the Premier League as well, just the Premier League hospitality for 19 matches. Expensive, that's just under a grand a game. That is mental when you think about it. But when Newcastle with these tourist fans, with people that have a lot of money, people from Saudi Arabia, wherever it may be in the world, people will pay that. They honestly will pay that. That will sell out. People will come across to St James's Park. They'll want to be a part of St James's Park every single season in the Premier League. They'll spend that money, and that's as simple as that. I remember I saw some other things that Newcastle fans, Newcastle United did, towards Newcastle fans. So I remember speaking to some people that came across from Amsterdam on the cruise, or the ferry as they call it. So pretty much it's actually package deals. So for people abroad, if they spend a package deal with a certain travel company, they'll include the match tickets as well. So Newcastle will sell off those tickets to travel companies, to whatever it may be, corporate, etc. They'll sell the tickets off, or they'll give the tickets away, and then they'll get some revenue back from those businesses. So it's smart. It is smart business. Now, some of you guys might disagree with that because it means that, I guess, less local fans can go, but unfortunately it's just how it is. Every football club does this. It's business. It's just one of them ones where the club knows there's expensive people out there that want to watch Newcastle, so they want to take money off them, and it's a smart thing for them to do because we can spend more in the transfer window. Whether you like that or not, that's just how football is nowadays, unfortunately. It's the same again with stuff like the Champions League final. You've seen it yesterday at West Ham. Half the tickets go to corporate, half the tickets go for people that are willing to dump £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 on a ticket. It's just one of them ones where it's less likely for, I guess, people from Newcastle to get these tickets unless you've got loads of money. It's just unfortunately how it is. And for Newcastle, we're going to be using that to our advantage so we can spend more on the transfer market. So it's something I'll expect you to keep an eye on, and I just want to let you know that that's happening next season. But finally, regarding the kit I mentioned in the last video, so it has been announced that Nunes is sticking with Newcastle. So again, that relates to the leaked kit, definitely goes into contrast for that. It's expected to come out tomorrow. Journalists out there have said that this is the real kit. It's none of this BS. It is expected to be the real kit, and we'll short find out over the next day or so. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Take care, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Sam Fender.